They'd be like, this is so much work. I'm like, it'll make sense for everybody. These new ethics, you know, like, it's like 4 or 5 months a day.
Pay for it.
So I play stupid and they just have me put it in the Mohawk.
If you walk into the kitchen while they're making them, then you get your slave labor at this point. You have,
14-hour workday limit. 11-hour driving limit.
Why is Chad shushing us?
DOT?
Yeah, it's my DOT log.
For a second. Something appropriate, but that's right.
I forgot to log off the truck.
Okay. I love the question that I keep getting asked. So what are you going to do with your degree? I'm like,
Have it?
yeah, I'm just going to have it. It's an accomplishment. Like, I already have a fantastic job. I don't need another one. Thank you.
You're going to do the same thing I'm doing with mine? Put it on
I
the wall
actually-
and look at it once in a while?
I actually needed it to get the probation job.
I kept getting told, oh, this is great. You have the experience, but you don't have a degree. Oh, this is great. You have an experience, but you don't have a degree. Get the associate's degree. Oh, this is great. You're overqualified. I'm like, no, I have a bachelor's degree, so I'm really overqualified.
I got turned down at the coaching plant for being overqualified, and that oil field.
Okay, sorry.
Like, I don't know anything about oil.
They have to sit and watch the meeting, so. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Just a reminder to silence your cell phones. We'll start with roll call.
Mayor Sherman.
Here.
Councilor Gorell.
Here.
Councilor Klinkhammer.
Here.
Councilor Lundstrom.
Here.
Councilor Sparman.
Here.
Councilor Tyree.
Here.
Councilor White.
Here.
Approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or changes to the agenda? It looks like,
I have one thing to add.
okay.
Into work session, a child care discussion.
Okay, perfect. And I think before we do our second executive session, I'll spend 5 minutes chatting with or a few minutes, maybe they can interview during the mayor and council reports. They want to ask us some questions, so. But they get to sit through the meeting first. Okay, I think that's it. So I would look for a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilor Sparman.
Yes.
Councilor Klinkhammer.
Yes.
Councilor Tyree.
Yes.
Councilor Gorell.
Yes.
Councilor White.
Yes.
Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes, that motion passes. Our approval of our minutes from our last regular meeting of February 27th, 2023. Does anybody have any corrections or revisions? If not, I would look for a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of February 27th of 2023. Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Councilor Tyree.
Yes.
Councilor Gorell.
Yes.
Councilor Sparman.
Yes.
Councilor Klinkhammer.
Yes.
Councilor White.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes, that motion passes. All right, we have visitors and delegations. Citizens are invited to speak to council on any item that does not have a public hearing scheduled. There's a 5-minute time limit per person, unless otherwise noted by the mayor. Does anyone want to speak? I don't think so. Okay. We will move on to management. First off, we have an executive session. Our first executive session. So I would entertain a motion to go into our first executive session.
I move we go into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes Title 24, Article 6, Section 402, at subsection 4E for determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators. The matter to be discussed is the letter to the school district.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilor White.
Yes.
Councilor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer.
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Counselor Gural,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. Okay. So, do I say anything first? No.
No.
Okay, so we have to go into executive session, which just means Okay. So,
The time's now 6:45. I'm Dan Krob, the city attorney. I note for the record, we just came out of executive session. The scope of the discussions was within the scope of the statute, and as the city attorney, the attorney-client privilege attaches.
I move for negotiators to move forward as directed in executive session.
Second.
any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Garrell?
Yes.
Counselor White?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right, that motion passes. It's number 7, finance.
Sorry. I move we approve disbursements and payroll for February 28th, 2023 through March 13th, 2023 totaling $433,306.55.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor White?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Garrell?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. That motion passes. All right, staff reports, it looks like. Brendan Flexsteiner is first up.
Nothing too exciting on my end. We did get our new patrol vehicle. It's in the back. If you guys have an opportunity to take a look. Officer Kreis is the one that's driving it, so it may not be there in the next 15 minutes, but it looks really nice. It came out really well. We went with a black vehicle this time due to just Ford not producing a lot of vehicles. So, but I'd say for myself, I think they did a really good job with it, and it stands out and looks really, really nice. It's probably one of the best patrol vehicles, I think, in the county. So that looks really good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We lost Joanne. Loranda Packard, city clerk.
I have nothing to report tonight.
Okay, Dan Kropp.
Also nothing.
Monty Torres.
Okay, a few items. The first one, Tyler Purvis isn't here this evening. He's actually with Del Colrick at the county planning and zoning meeting, and this was the evening that they're going to discuss about that solar farm down near our well fields. So they had a list of concerns that they're going to go relay and present to the planning and zoning for the county. But he did want me to mention that he's also still working with the school district on the traffic study, and that's in the hands of the traffic engineer right now. So he relayed some more information to the engineer in the last couple of weeks, and he did a follow-up call today just seeing where that's at. But he said he'll come back at the next meeting and give you more of a detailed breakdown of where that's at. The next item is Ted Anderson from the fire chief. He just wanted the council to know that they've been looking at ladder trucks, or different ladder trucks, and then the subcommittee working on selecting ladder truck, they're going to be in at the next meeting to let the council know which ladder truck that they're looking at. And then after that, Joanne will take some time to look at the best way to finance it. And so that's moving along as well. And then there's one other thing. Water Advisory Committee. Is it a committee, Lou? Committee?
Board.
Board. The Water Advisory Board. They met a week ago and got a quick rundown of where we're at with water projects. And then also there's some term limits that are coming up there. So Lou's advertising for that now to try and get some interest on it. And that is everything that I have.
Very good. And you did their update on the traffic study and
Yep.
stuff through. Okay. Great. Mayor and council reports. Does any councilors have anything they'd like to share?
I had a question, speaking of the fire department. I know you were waiting on the rural board for the truck and trailer they wanted. Is there any movement on that, man, or no?
I have not heard back. We asked for it to be in writing if they're going to assist or not assist, and so I haven't seen that yet.
I mean, it's pretty safe pretty safe bet to say they're not going to. So are we going to go forward with looking to get in that truck and trailer, or no?
Let me check with the fire chief on that one.
Yeah, because I mean, they're probably not going to, right? It's
we're hoping to get it in writing.
yeah.
Since Lanta's not here, I'd just like to mention that the St. Patrick's Day 5K is this coming weekend on Saturday. I will not be there, but I hope many people attend and get some green beer and corned beef.
I took second last year.
Very nice.
There's only two of us.
We were really
I got the record to
close.
prove it, man. I got the record to
Luckily, I'm at a
prove it.
different age group than you, otherwise.
You have to beat me, though.
Yeah, you're right. I think you did that on purpose. It's always a fun one.
I'll go with that, but.
Anybody else? I don't think I have anything either. And what I'd like to do, because the last thing on our list is the executive session. We have the Boy Scouts here to talk to us. I'd like to do that and then do our last executive session. So I don't know if, and then we'll adjourn. So we'll be.
Do we have the update on the traffic study?
Dale's working on that.
Oh, did you just say that?
And
Yeah.
Tyler.
Oh. Never mind.
So if everybody's okay with that, we'll just take a few minutes. And
Sure.
Do you want to talk to more than one of us? Do you want to talk to just, do you want to come up and just ask us all questions? Or
There you go.
wanna-
Do you want to do this formally?
How
Do you
formal?
want to make them come up to the stand and ask you guys questions?
Yeah.
That's
So,
probably the way to go. Since
the
I've never seen
requirement-
one of these, and it's normally George.
The requirement that they're trying to fill is they need to talk to you guys about a current issue in the city. If you guys plan on fixing it, how you could fix it, and then they should suggest a way to fix it.
So we probably don't want to do that too formally.
They each have a list of questions. While
Okay.
we were out waiting, while you guys did your executive.
Oh, very good.
We had them write down a list of questions. Some of them are the same.
Okay.
Um,
No, we can do it like that. That'll work.
Do you guys
That's
want to
fine.
open
Yeah.
ask a question?
Go for it, Virgil.
We don't bite.
This will be good practice for you.
Here, Jess, go first. You're the oldest. What?
Here, I'll go.
You're
I'll
next
set an
in.
example, okay?
Okay.
So, recently, I've seen a lot of potholes around town, right? I'm gonna say it's because of the weather. I don't know if that's true. When you guys plan on fixing this?
So the potholes, when you have weather like this, they're worse than normal. Good news is we did buy a unique machine, an infrared machine that heats up the asphalt. And then also have a crack fill machine that can heat up asphalt. So the crews, they've been going around town trying to catch up on them. But what you'll see is that as the weather starts warming up, you even get more of them that start coming apart because the ground's starting to thaw a little bit more. So it's probably going to take them probably 4, 5, 6 weeks to try and get through the whole town to try and fix them all. But they are working every day trying to get those fixed.
Once it starts warming up, they can
Some
start
of the
working on
delay
it.
was also they had to wait for the moisture to get out of there because the water will get between the layers of asphalt and it doesn't do any good because then it just pops up again. So they had to wait for some of the moisture to come out.
So how would you fix that problem?
That's right. Nice try,
I've already done this.
Okay, you're just
I don't know, to be
leading
honest.
it.
I knew it was part of the weather. I just first thing that came to
Yeah,
mind.
yep, very good.
Can I ask a question? What's the name of the badge that you're working on, or the belt loop?
Citizenship in the community and in the nation. I think this one is for community.
Is it a belt loop?
A
No.
merit badge.
It's a merit badge.
Merit badge.
Okay.
What level scout are you?
I'm a life scout.
Nice.
And
Almost
you
equal.
boys are what level?
I'm supposed to be second class.
Say your rank now. You haven't been
right now,
rewarded it.
I'm a tenderfoot.
Okay.
They all are, aren't they? Except for Morgan, he's no rank.
So in this badge that you're working on, you're learning about city council procedures, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so one thing I would recommend when you come up to the podium is that you state at least your first name, and you can then maybe tell us what rank you are. So then we know who we're talking to. How's that sound? Okay, great. Who's next?
Virgil. Go for it.
Don't bite, I promise.
Virgil, come on down.
We're not scary. It can be scary standing up there talking in front of people though, can't it? You'll outgrow it. It'll be just fine.
I'm Virgil and I'm second class, I think.
Nice.
Nice.
Very good.
And what question do you have for us?
Why do you guys like to vote?
Why do we like to vote?
Yeah.
Because, you mean like in an election? Because you can make a difference. And you can, your voice gets to be heard.
It's your
And
most
if-
important right.
Mm-hmm. When you turn 18, you get to vote and know that if what you voted for passed, then you made a difference. And if it didn't, then just gotta fight harder for your beliefs next time.
And if you don't vote, you can't complain about anything,
Yeah.
right? That's the truth. Always vote.
Why do you think it's important to vote, Virgil? Or do you think it's not? Argue your side. Well, do you think when you turn 18 it's important for you to vote and everything?
Not always.
Okay, so talk to him. Tell him why.
Let me explain a little what your vote does, okay? Sometimes you'll vote on things that are very trivial, which means they don't mean a lot to most people. They mean a lot to a very small group of people, but they're very important to that group of people. Sometimes you're voting on people like us that are representing you, okay, so that we're doing the job you want us to do. So every vote, every election is super, super important. And you might not think every item in that election is important to you, but it could affect you in some way. So it's your best duty, I guess the word could be, to research everything you're voting on and participate in every election you get to participate in, okay? It's really, really important. That's how our whole country works, okay?
Okay. I heard you say that sometimes it doesn't. Is there something in particular that you think is not necessarily important to vote on?
Like to vote on what type of food?
Okay, so like if you have a family vote and you're voting on what you're having for dinner, trust me, that matters to your mom, okay? It really matters to your mom. At our level, we're not really voting on stuff like that. We're voting on issues that are way higher level than that. But definitely answer your mom when she asks you what you want for dinner, okay?
McDonald's.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that your only question?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Virgil.
So we just
We'll go down the line. Save the best for last.
There you go.
He has the most questions.
Oh, good.
How important is your job?
Can you tell us your name, kiddo?
Wyatt Johnson.
Wyatt.
Johnson. I think our job is really important. People count on us to make decisions that matter to the city. And yeah, people count on us.
When you turn 15, 16 and you get a job, and then you turn 18 and you start paying taxes to us, you want us to spend your money the way you think it's best spent, correct? You don't want us to waste the money you have to pay the city, correct? So that's why our jobs are kind of important, is we are your representation in how your money is spent and how your city runs. Okay?
So as Councilor Spradlin just explained, sometimes you vote on the people that represent you. There are 6 of us and the mayor. The mayor represents the entire city. And then there are 2 of us for each ward. The city is divided into 3 different wards. And there are a bunch of voters that voted each of us for the wards into these positions. It is our job as councilors, whether we personally agree with an issue or not, it is our job to represent those people that voted us into these positions. And that's why I love our job, is because we can sit up here and we can listen to people and hear what they have to say, and we can help the people that voted us here to make that difference that they're looking for. So we are a voice of the people. That's why I love our job.
So you need to be sitting up here in a few years, okay?
That's a fantastic hat, by the way. Good choice.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you,
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Do you have
Did you
anything
have
else you want to say?
Okay.
Good job.
Thanks, Wyatt.
So, name's Morgan Johnson. So basically what he said, the potholes. What can we do about them?
Morgan, do you by chance have a different question?
I think so.
Morgan, come here.
Are you guys building any new parks? Like,
Oh, that's a great
Great
question.
question.
Fantastic question.
Good job.
Yes.
We do have a new park going in. It's called Prairie Trails Park. It's over by Doty Pond, and there will be baseball fields and softball fields and that big open space. I think we've got 4 different fields mapped out. Probably a little concession area, playground. So yes, we do.
Do you know where Doty Ponds is?
No, what?
It's
No.
It's the pond
it's
right
the
behind.
park right next to your
Kinda.
mom's house.
Oh,
So it's
Ooh,
gonna be
that'll be handy
It's
for
gonna
you.
be a bigger park.
Morgan, do you have a favorite park in town?
Skate
They're
park.
all
not,
awesome.
not here in Bush.
No, we're at.
It's not a park, but it's a lake.
A lake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Which lake is it?
I don't remember. It's
Like-
you go, so you come, and you see Stubbs. You go the opposite way.
Empire.
Oh, Jackson.
That's it.
Jackson
Oh, Jackson.
Lake.
Yep.
Great. That's a
It's a pretty cool lake.
park? State park?
It is a park.
State park.
It's a park.
Good job.
Morgan, I want you to learn something from this too, okay? Questions are hard sometimes, and having to be able to ask them in front of people you don't know is also hard, or saying the right thing. Just before you guys came back in here, 2 people had to help me come up with what I had to say when you guys came back in. Because even I don't know it, and they don't always know it. So it's okay to get help if you don't know the answer or you don't know the question.
Okay.
You did a great job.
Good job, Lake.
Good job, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Last but not least.
Okay, my name is Jess Smith, and I have 3 questions. Do you guys have monthly meetings?
We have
Bi-weekly.
twice a month meetings, and then
And then-
sometimes special meetings.
My second question is, why do you guys have executive meetings?
Sometimes we have to talk about things that we can't talk about in public yet. It's not something, it's something that sometimes we have to get advice from our attorney.
So usually we try to do everything we can in open so that everyone knows what's going on. But there's certain times, like if we're gonna go bid on a house or something, if we say, all right, the very most we can spend on this house is $200,000, and someone hears that, they're gonna say, okay, we'll offer $200,001, and they'll outbid us, right? So it's better for us to figure out what we're gonna do behind closed doors and then go do it. But we try not to do executive sessions as much as possible.
Try to keep everything on the open.
Great question.
That is a great
That is
question.
a very good question.
I thought about that while you were sitting out there in the hallway while we were in executive session.
And then my third question is, what is something I could do for the community?
Oh.
Just being in Boy Scouts helps.
Yep.
I was a Boy Scout all the way through life, and trust me, you will do something in the community. When you get old enough, vote in your community. And then if you have time that you can donate to cleaning things up, the park, anything. One of the best things you can do for the community is to come in here and do exactly what you're doing right now, because we don't get a whole lot of interaction from the community, believe it or not. So just to come in and tell us the concerns, the potholes, the parks, let us know if there's something that you see that you don't like, that you want fixed. So that's one of the biggest things you can do for the community.
That was a great question.
Good question.
What was the Boy Scout creed? What is it? To be what? Counselor Spradlin?
It's be prepared, but that's the motto.
What am I?
You're messing this all up.
What is this then? A scout is
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind,
Obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave,
clean, and
I cannot
always do all that.
That's a lot of words.
I was in Boy
Good job,
Scouts
guys.
too, but I was.
I can't believe I still remember the past
Good.
Thank you,
guys.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
job.
May I ask a question?
Yes,
Absolutely.
sure.
Before you guys do your next executive, I've
Yeah.
been wondering this.
Gotta tell us your name.
And what rank you are?
Well, actually, she's a scoutmaster.
Technically, you are a
Technically,
scoutmaster.
I am a scoutmaster. My name is Annette Smith. Technically, I am one of the scoutmasters.
So we actually live in Fort Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the Scout Pack we joined, and we moved here 2 years ago. Why are you not allowed to have chickens? That's why we didn't look in Brush, because I have chickens. Like, we moved from Greeley with chickens.
I told you.
And
Oh, and
Like,
that's.
I like Fort Morgan. I love it much better than Greeley. But we're kind of finding more of our home here in Brush. And I'm like, man, we should have chartered in Brush, but I've had chickens for like 3 years before we moved, and
It was
It's
a,
just never been, it's always not been an ordinance, and we talked about it before, and it came up again, and we decided that we will put it on the next ballot, so the public can tell us
Yeah,
whether.
we would encourage a citizen to
Yeah,
get
It's a-
to
it's a-
go through the process and get it put on
It's
the
a very
ballot.
highly contentious topic in the city of Brush.
Mhm.
In certain wards it is. There are certain people that absolutely
Yeah.
do not want chickens here, and they're the loudest.
So we want to know what other people have to say about it, so.
and then we've discussed a lot of important things over the years, and I'll tell you what, that's been the biggest fight amongst the councilors yet. Chickens. That's why they're laughing
People show
about
up in
it.
here, have
Somebody will
chickens on the
just bring
agenda.
up chickens just to get us going. But
I can see now why they would, but like I had chickens before chickens were like popular.
Yeah.
Which having chickens is not a cheaper way of having it.
There's a
but-
guy named Rick Horoway who was 100 miles away that's smiling right now. He has no reason why. He's so happy right now.
Annette, before you go, I don't know if it's normal now for there to be so many more female leaders in Scouts, but I have to say, like, where we came from, most of our Scout leaders were women. And the reason for that is we were military and all of the dads were deployable. And so I applaud you for whatever reason it is that you have stepped up and are being a Scout leader, so thank you.
He is the reason. He
There
wants
you
to
go,
be a
Jen.
Eagle Scout, he wants to be a Life Scout, he is the reason.
Very good, tell your mom thank you.
He does, he's a good kid.
Are any of you?
And there's a good troop.
It
so,
depends. It depends on what mood I'm having.
Are any of you in the Order of the Arrow?
I am.
Very nice.
I'm Brotherhood.
Very good.
Nice.
yeah. These are relatively young ones.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it, but it's an interesting week.
I'm like the only original one left.
Very nice.
Joe.
Well, we had 2 boys who aged out and eagled, and both of them are Brotherhood too, along with their dad. And so, as a troop, we have 4 people in OA, 2 eagles.
Is that the Hurt Neckies?
Yeah,
Are you senior patrol leader?
I am.
Very nice.
What's OA?
It's Order of the Arrow. It's
We can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
Even I know that. We
it's
can't
a
talk
secret
about
that
it.
you only find out when you're voted in at first class.
Keep up the
Thank you,
good work,
guys.
Thank you guys for
Thank you
coming
very much.
Thank you, Annette.
and sticking around. Okay. So now we have
Gotta
another
kick you back out.
executive
Yeah,
session.
You guys don't have to wait this time. if you-
Yeah, because
so-
after this we'll be done. But
You're
yeah, this is why I
actually-
had you do this before this one, so.
All right.
You guys are welcome anytime you want to come.
Yeah, anyone
We're
have
the
questions?
second and fourth Monday of every month.
Mondays, yep.
Although in future, you guys will have to come up and do the process when the public has time to speak, and there will be a whole thing that the mayor says, you heard it earlier, and then you just state your name and address, and then you get to ask the questions. And then you are part of our council meeting and part of our record.
We'll be back sooner or later once we start the communication there.
Very
Yeah,
good.
you guys
Very
did really
good.
good on communication.
Mhm. Oh.
Thanks,
for
guys.
coming.
That was
Thank
scarier
you.
than my presentation in language arts.
All right. So we will have to clear the room for executive session.
Need a motion.
I move we go into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes Title 24, Article 6, Section 402, subsection 4F for personnel matters. The matter to be discussed is compensation for the city clerk.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Klinkhammer.
Yes.
Counselor Tyree.
Yes.
Counselor Guerrero.
Yes.
Counselor White.
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom.
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, motion passes.
It's a piece in your shoulder.
Oh, that just sounded wrong.
What did you say? Hey, Dana, read that last text.
We're back on the record?
Yes.
All right, so I'm Dan Krob, the city attorney. It's now 8:09. I'll note for the record, we're coming out of executive session. The scope of the conversation was within the scope of the statute. I was present throughout, and as such, the attorney-client privilege attaches.
Very good. So now we need a motion.
I move that staff moves forward as directed in executive session.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Garrell,
Yes.
Counselor Spradlin,
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. Motion passes. And I would look for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call vote. Oh, do we need a roll call vote?
Don't need to say all in
All in favor,
favor.
say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, are we gonna do our childcare discussion?
Okay, so this will be very quick. This is work session. So one of the things that we had talked about at a stakeholders meeting, the economic development stakeholders meeting, was, is there a way we could use some of the ARPA funds for some type of a pilot daycare program, childcare program, summer school program? And we don't have anything really lined up right now, but I did tell the group I would bring it up to council, get some feedback if we could put some money towards that. And I don't have exact dollar figures, but I was gonna throw out, approximately $30,000 to help fund something like this. Tyler's working with the school district to see if there's any possibilities there. We're supposed to check with some churches to see if there's any possibilities of churches doing summer school type program, summer camp type program. And then the other was Kids at Their Best. And Kids at Their Best, they have different programs, but there may be some interest there as well. So I just want to bring that up to the group, and it's not an official decision tonight, but if it sounds like a good dollar amount just to take back to them, it may be possible for us to help stimulate some child care activities.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's available, but if you feel that's a good number.
Well, and
It's a good starting
they're
point.
talking about doing something at Thompson, like an after-school program and stuff, since they
Kind of
already
like
have
Sherman
the-
and Morgan always
Yeah.
had a Columbine animal.
Yeah. And since they already have the daycare program there, if they could just extend it to an after-school program and getting Kids at Their Best to, or a church or somebody to come, sit with the kids and do homework after school, or.
But isn't that daycare program only for the staff kids?
Mm-mm. It started out that way, but it didn't. They have spaces for community.
One of our employees actually has her daughter there, and they really enjoy it. I think it's pretty good. And then I think they're capped out because of they can't find any more staff or something like that. For that age kids, we were talking about probably the little older kids.
Yeah, so like after they get out of that, after they outgrow that, but before they're
13.
old enough to
Yeah.
be home by themselves. I like it.
So it's going to be kind of a challenge because timeline, it's already mid-March, right? So
Mhm.
trying to get something by May is going to be kind of tough, but we thought with them already having a certified daycare, child care provider there, they might be able to just find another remote site and continue. And then Kids at Their Best, I think they've got some programs ready set up as well.
Yeah. Put the feelers out.
Time change.
Very good.
Yeah, I think 30,000 is.
Good
I
start.
know,
Good
See
starting
where,
point.
see where it gets us.
Yeah, if we can get her off the ground this year,
Yeah.
Well.
that's
yeah,
it.
That was
Sweet.
easy.
Groovy.
All right.
Good.
Done.
So you don't think I'm crazy? I'll leave some.
I don't know, I think it's
shoulder.
pretty
Can I keep them? Because I'm short.
Right? I'm short. So in order to get my feet on the ground when I'm typing, I have a standard table. So I'm typing for multiple hours a day. So my arm is slightly raised. So I'm putting pressure on my shoulders. I do. Which is pissed about.
Get swole for you.
No, I need to get a shorter table and just admit that I'm a midget.
Get a standing desk.
As my husband likes to point out, that I'm a midget.
I am not.
I'm
My shoulders hurt, but it was from the
in my house.
My shoulders hurt, it's because I'm destroyed.
Then you're like, it's not really. Surgery on my left side.
After hours?
He just wanted to go outside.
So that's, you can see how the chief walked up.
She puts the needle into my hand. I start swearing, and from the corner I hear everything's going
I
blue.
know what the other side did.
And we were wondering, every pale child is the color of paper.
Is it compared?
I still have pretty sure I've had to kick him out of the bank and apparently parents car and told me he was gonna put something on my door and
What up? On the floor.
he was cussing and.
What happens when you say
Yeah, don't discharge.
Don't have
Just
an
not
extra
about-
arterial. That, wanna talk about?
Crazy people in my life.
Oh, Derek,
I think I have